So I've got a very interesting video for you. I wanted to show you something that I don't think people are aware of, and by the end of this video, some of you may be a little bit shocked. Some of you aren't going to be shocked at all. That's why you're in the crypto space. I think if you're pretty new to cryptocurrency, you're pretty new to blockchain technology, some of this may be interesting for you for sure. And others will just keep watching. If the name Ben Swann rings a bell with you, then you definitely want to keep watching this video. So, because I've got a treat for you. And by the way, we'll get to that. So this is a current news story that's out right now. This is this came out yesterday, and so it's about this lady comes, this new senator comes out, and she basically says that they're going to impeach the MF for talking about Trump, and but then here's Nancy Pelosi. Now, if you know anything about this woman, she's a leader in the Democratic Party, and she's been talking about impeaching Trump off and on, from the beginning. She's been alluding to it. The whole 9 yards. But then I want you to watch in this interview. She says, newly elected Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, on Friday shied away from moving forward with impeachment, at this time calling it a divisive option. But she said that a colleague's use of an expletive to describe Donald Trump was no worse than some of the language the president used himself. Okay, I do think that we want to be unified and bring people together. Impeachment is a very divisive approach to take, and we shouldn't take it without the facts, Pelosi said during an MSNBC town hall. So here's the thing. It's important to note that political leaders always manipulate the base, and that sucks. But it's important to be aware of so you're less likely to get manipulated. We're all biased. We can all be manipulated, so I get that. But take note of this. Not that long ago, she was talking about impeach Trump, impeach Trump. And also, on the other side, Trump was talking about build a wall, build a wall, build a wall. He's building a wall. And lately, I think as of today, I saw where he was like, no, we're going to have a wall, or, we're going to declare a state of emergency, or whatever is going on with that. But he's also backed away saying, well, it doesn't have to be a wall. It could just be a really strong border. I mean, it's just, the point is, that we're always promised something, there's always a bait and switch, and we end up getting manipulated as a base. And we never push back on it, because if you're a Democrat, Nancy Pelosi is always going to be better than Trump, even with her, even if you disagree with her on some points. Same thing with Trump. If you're Republican, Trump's going to always be better than, whoever the Democrats have up. So even if he doesn't do things you like, you'll say it's okay. A great example is spending. Republicans always talk about being conservative with the spending, being conservative with the spending. They always, when they're not in power, they always want to be conservative on spending. But now that Trump's in power, he is spending like a drunken sailor. And by the way, so did George Bush Jr. The Republicans spend like crazy when they're in power. Always. They've never reined it in. In fact, the last person to strongly rein in spending, I think, was Bill Clinton. I think he was the last person to create a surplus. And of course, the Republicans will say, well, Bill Clinton did it for some other reason than that he was a Democrat, meaning there was some other factor that caused it. Bill Clinton didn't cause the surplus. And then every Democrat will say, well, of course, Bill Clinton caused it. And the reality is we're just being manipulated among the left and the right. And it's unfortunate. And I'm just showing you to be aware of it. And stay tuned, because I'm going to show you proof, undeniable proof that you're getting manipulated if you identify strongly with one party or the other. It's best to kind of be independent and just know that the parties do their own thing. Let's take a look at this. And I'll put this video in the description, but just stay tuned. Watch this.
Driven away from it. Rules Committee member Morton Blackwell still on the bus. So who is this Morton Blackwell that was trapped on this bus with Virginia delegates? Blackwell is a member of the RNC Rules Committee, and he was the most ardent advocate opposed to the rules change. Now, inside the convention hall, delegates who did make it, they were asked by Speaker of the House John Boehner to vote on adopting this new rule. Now listen as the vote is taken.
The question is on the adoption of the resolution. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, no. Opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The resolution's adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it? How could the Speaker of the House determine clearly how many voted aye and how many voted no? Listen again, but this time to cell phone video from inside the crowd. Well, maybe there's a good reason, a really good reason, that Boehner claimed the ayes had it. Today, incredible cell phone video was released as delegates stood by and videotaped the teleprompter that Speaker Boehner was reading from. We're going to take this video full so you can read along for yourself.
The question is ordered. The question is on the adoption of the resolution. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it.
So, the most controversial rule in the Republican Party history, according to countless conservatives, wasn't voted through at all. It was scripted. Despite the shouts of what at least half the room of delegates appeared to have been voting, Boehner just read along with the script. So why is this rule so controversial? Well, consider this.
If you want to watch this video, I'll put it down in the description if you want to watch the rest of it. Check this out. Here's another one, similar.
1 week. Yesterday at the Democratic National Convention, nearly the exact same thing happened. So let's set the stage. Former Ohio Governor Ted Strickland made a motion that part of the Democratic Party platform should include language that Jerusalem be considered the capital of Israel. The motion then had to be voted on and receive a 2/3 majority to pass. Los Angeles Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa was the chairman.
The matter requires a 2/3 vote in the affirmative. All those delegates in favor say aye. All those delegates opposed say no. In the opinion of the... Let me do that again. All of those delegates in favor say aye. All those delegates opposed say no.
Now hold it right there. Everyone, as you saw in that video, so confused. These delegates aren't following the script, and Villaraigosa isn't sure how to proceed. The ayes clearly don't have a 2/3 majority. So what to do? Listen to the woman who comes up behind the mayor and says, just keep going. They're going to do what they're going to do.
And then you got to let them do what they're going to do.
I'll do that one more time. All those delegates in favor say aye. All those delegates opposed say no. In the opinion of the chair, 2/3 have voted in the affirmative. The motion is adopted, and the platform has been amended as shown on the screen.
Just like at the RNC, leaders at the DNC really don't care what their delegates think. And
Now, we're going to keep watching this, but I want to explain something. In case you don't know what the RNC and the DNC is, it's the Republican National Committee, the Democrat National Committee. It's in charge of basically, well, it's in charge of helping run the Republican Party, the Democratic Party. This is these people that you see are some of the most ardent, the people who attend this convention, among being delegates, are some of the most ardent Republicans. Like, they are the hardcore base. The people you see at the Democrat convention, they're the hardcore Democrat base. Like, they care, they show up, they take time off work to go to this political convention. And even the hardcore base is disagreeing with what's happening. That's what it's important for you to understand. Let's keep watching a little bit more.
just like at the RNC, the DNC scripted their vote. The only difference between Speaker Boehner and Mayor Villaraigosa is that the mayor kept stopping because he wasn't sure that he should keep reading the script. And scripted it was. Fox News has run this image of the teleprompter showing that in the opinion of the chair, 2/3 having voted in the affirmation. Which, on a side note, screams of hypocrisy for Fox to point it out that the DNC had done this. They've been talking about it for 2 days, when they were silent as delegates were run over by Speaker Boehner at the RNC.
By the way, that's an important note. He was working for Fox when he said that. He no longer works for Fox now, by the way. And I'll put his playlist on this end screen. Let's just listen right here.
Issue at hand is, the real story here is that what happened in Tampa last week at the RNC and what happened in Charlotte at the DNC yesterday proves that party bosses, Republican and Democrat, really don't care what delegates think. They don't care what the people think. And unless the grassroots of both parties stand up now and push back, the national conventions will now simply become coronations.
That's good.
And that is Reality Check.
And again, I'll put his entire playlist, by the way. Now he operates, he does the videos similar to this. Ben Swann's an interesting person. He does videos similar to this on his own, but now cryptocurrency companies are currently the ones sponsoring them. Smart Cash and Dash have sponsored his last. And like I said, there'll be a playlist on the end of this screen. But here's the thing that's important to understand. He talks about the grassroots has to rise up. My wife and I have talked about this, and she's like, what do you do? What do you do? I said, listen, I can't wait for the grassroots to do anything. As a man, I'm responsible for taking care of my family and doing the best I can to navigate the waters that we are forced to swim in. And so with that being said, that's one of the reasons why I'm such a cryptocurrency enthusiast. Cryptocurrency is all about giving freedom back. And if you don't understand that, you have to research blockchain technology. You have to understand why decentralized blockchain technology is important. Why did Satoshi Nakamoto create Bitcoin in the beginning? Hopefully, if you've never realized this before, that you can just see some of the manipulation that's taken place. And if you like this type of content, be sure to subscribe and let me know down in the comments, because I can definitely find more content just like this for you to be able to watch. But thank you so much for watching, and hopefully this makes a little bit more sense to you, and you can understand the need for cryptocurrencies in a way that maybe you haven't before. Give me a thumbs up if you like this content, and be sure to watch. You can check out more of Ben Swann on the end card of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being a part of this crypto revolution, and have a great day.